all are fine and you are reading well at home properly. You know that from the last video I'm giving you the important topics from each chapters from your science book. So today also I'm here with few a new type of concepts of the that is very important for your upcoming exams. So let's get started. Today I will start from chapter 6 till chapter 10. Okay, so without wasting time, you please take your NCERT science book and a pencil and just give the tick mark where I will say these topics are very important for this year. Okay, so let's get started. So here, chapter 6, it is given tissues. The chapter tissues that is almost related to the previous chapter, that is chapter 5, fundamental units of life. On last we completed those chapters, and today we'll start from the chapter tissues. Here, the proper definition, the actual definition of the tissues and how many types of tissues are present. Basically, we knew that there are two types of cells present. That is the number one, plant cell, and number two is animal cell. So we know that the combination of the cells make the tissues. So it means that there is also the plant tissues and the animal tissues. So here basically you have to read the plant tissue and animal tissue in separate manner, and we know that in the plant tissue different classifications are there. So and along with their diagrams, their actual structure, the function, all are written. So all those part of the plant tissues, these are going to be very important. So what you have to do at first, you have to understand the actual flow chart. Okay, the plant tissues flow chart, it means plant tissue from their two tissues came out, that is or classified into two part, that is the meristematic and the permanent. Okay, in permanent we have seen the typical, then intercalary, then lateral. So such type of tissues parts you have to memorize the name as well as their functions as well as their diagrams. It is going to be very important because no one knows that from where or from which particular part of the tissues question may arise in the exam. Okay, so in the same way, if we say for the plant animal tissue, in animal tissues are also it has a flow chart, and according to the flow chart you have to read the names of the tissues, the functions of the tissues, and the properties of the tissues. All these matters you have to read. The basic thing is there, nothing else, as well as the pictures, the diagrams or the figures, those which are here. So almost all the figures are very important. Okay, basically if we say the xylem, phloem, then the apical. Okay, apical lateral, to show all these matters in one plant part. So it is going to be very important. As well as if I say from the animal tissues, the muscular tissues, okay, and the nervous tissue, the nervous cells, okay, mainly. So all these diagrams are going to be very important. Okay, and here I can say the last part, the last tissue, that is the nervous tissue. Nervous tissue is going to be very important for this year. Okay, so it means that you have to memorize the entire figure of the nervous tissue as well as the entire function of it and the mechanism of it. Okay, that's it. In this way you have to read as well as the normal tissues, those which are present plant in animals body. These are also going to be important. So in this way, we have completed this chapter 6. Chapter 6 tissue. It is very a small tissue, a small chapter. So let's go for the next chapter. Chapter 7 is the name is diversity in living organisms. Diversity means the sorting out, or you can say differentiation among the living organisms, those which are present throughout our world or the universe. So we know that there starts from the unicellular body to multicellular body. It means if we say in plant kingdom also unicellular part are there, and multicellular bodies are also present. In animal kingdom also such type of unicellular and multicellular, all such type of organisms are present. So if we try to find out the differentiation between them, okay, so we can easily classify them into different parts. So the entire topic is given here. This topic is going to be very new topic for you, so that's why it is going to be very important. So I will just refer you that you please do not leave any part of this chapter, because from where question will come, that God knows. Okay, so as this topic is quite new and you haven't read it before, So that's why the entire part of this chapter you have to memorize it well, and no need to memorize because the entire part is totally based on understanding. You have to understand in a better way. You have to take the concept in a better way, that how to classify the entire part of the plants kingdom, the entire part of the animal kingdom. Okay, and from there, why, how to, or based on which conditions scientists or the biologists have separated them from one to another. So all these matters you have to understand in a basic way, as well as their examples and few of their diagrams. As we know that in biology, basically diagrams means a lot. Okay, so that's why you have to practice that diagram in a huge way. Got it? As well as the examples name, you have to keep it in your mind, and the functions or the properties or the conditions based on which biologists have separated them into different classes. So that's it. So here mainly the classification, you have to read what is the basic part of the classification and what do we mean by the word, by the term classification in biology. So this chapter, this topic is very important, and which mainly based on which condition we used to separate to each other. Okay, among plant kingdom and animal kingdoms, those which are organisms present there among them. How can we? So all such matters are written here as a point based. So you have to memorize those points also, because in exam basically such question comes. Then the classification and evolution. Okay, how is classification helps in the evolution in an organism? Okay, when you know that organisms are basically they are evoluting themselves, but year after year or after many years in an advanced way. So how this is possible and why this is happening? So all such matters are written here. You have to read this. That's why it is also going to be very important. Next, the hierarchy of the classification groups that I just told you. Okay, based on which conditions it is said that the class, order, okay, the kingdom, phylum, class, order, then family, genus, species. So all such base parts are there in a step manner. So all these steps you have to keep it in your mind, and different names are also present there. Mm, so that is going to be very important to you, and the hierarchy also uh, very important part. Okay, so here you can see in your book that lots of figures are there, as well as the different names in the plant kingdom. First of all, the classification or the hierarchy of the classification of the plant kingdom is given. The number one is Monera, then Protista. Okay, then Animalia, Plantae, Fungi, Algae. So all such things are given, as well as if you go for the next part of the means to the animals part of the animal kingdom. So here is also even names are given like Animalia, Porifera, okay, Platyhelminthes, then Colinterata, Annelida. So such topics are also going to be very important, because these are the separate part, or these are the mainly what can I say, the differentiation. Okay, or you can say kind of teams, got it, among the animals. So how do people make such type of teams? Okay, so all such property we have to understand and we have to practice it. That's it. So you have to read the entire part of it, and this chapter is going to be very important, very easy topic. Topic is very easy, because just you have to understand the entire meaning or the entire concept that what is going to be. See, that's it. Next, the flowchart are also very important from this chapter. You have seen that many flowcharts are given. Okay, so you have to memorize this. So in this way, chapter 7 is finished. Chapter 8 basically it is totally a part of physics. Okay, so we have already left the biology, now come to the physics. Chapter 8 is saying about the motion. Motion, how it is related to us, as we have already read about it in class 8 or 7. So we have a primary concept on it, that there are the two type of motion, that is a uniform motion and non-uniform motion. Okay, now what we have to read from here, uniform motion, non-uniform motion, we have to understand basically based on the three different types of the rules of motion or the laws of motions, as well as we have to understand the graphical chart. Okay, graphical chart based on the uniform and non-uniform motion, as well as few numericals are also present here, those which we have to solve based on the formula of the speed of the motion. Means motion, it means the laws of motion. Okay, so such parts are very important, and we have to memorize this topic, then it will be very easy to you, as well as it is given few of the uniform and non-uniform motions, the definitions, and as well as the examples. Okay, so you have to read this. And the rate of change of velocity means the velocity, and then acceleration, retardation. So these topics are quite new to you. And why? Because you know this name, but you haven't read in a proper manner the acceleration, retardation. That will get chance here to read it and to get the total concept on this matter. Okay, so that's why this topic is going to be very important to you, and you have to practice the what which part you have to practice it very well. That is the change of the rate of change of velocity, that is the acceleration and retardation, as well as the formulas. Many formulas are there that you have to practice very well, as well as the numericals, means how to solve the numericals and how to understand that which numerical is saying about the first law of motion, second law of motion, third law of motion, in this way. Okay, as well as you have to practice the graphical chart based on the uniform and non-uniform motion. That's it. So in this way the entire chapter is closed, and you have to practice it very well. And the last but not the least, that is the circular motion. Circular motion, it is v equal to 2 pi r by t. Okay, so you have to practice it. It means that the entire circumference of a circle, circular motion, when it comes in per unit time. Okay, so such processes, formulas, you have to practice well. You have to memorize the units, because on last video also I told that in science, units are very very important. If you miss the units anyhow, so by 1 or 2 marks, it will be cut from your exam paper. Okay, so that's it. Keep it just in your mind. Okay, so in this way chapter 8 motion is completed. Now we will go for chapter 9, that is force and law of motion. Force and law of motion. This chapter is related, quite related to chapter 8, because motion we have already read, and here the laws, force and laws of motion we have to read. Okay, so it means that one thing is added here. What is that? That is the force. Got it? When something is moving and we are giving, and if the substance is moving, and if we are providing them force, or if we do not provide the force at all, so what condition will be occur on in that substance. So such conditions we have to read based on the three laws, means three laws of Newton's. Okay, Isaac Newton gave three laws of motion, and we have to read this from here: the first law, second law, and third law. These three laws are, you know that laws means these are important always in physics and basically in science exam. Okay, so that's why three laws you have to practice it well, as well as the proper examples. Okay, how can we show the examples and suitable examples, those which are connected to the each law of Newton, means the speed of laws of motion. Okay, so that's it. You have to practice you have to memorize the laws, as well as the examples, as well as the numerals, those which are included or those which are connected to each and every laws. That's it. And the entire part is given there. There is nothing else. And the force, what is force? You have to read it, and how force is creating to or just affecting any substance to move it or to stop it from its motion time. So that's it. That is the matter. You have to read well. All such topics are very important from here, so I cannot say that which part of it are very important, okay, and less important. The entire part is important, and you have to practice it well. As and these topics means the physics part, basically it is totally connected with the numerals. Many numerals are there, so you must have to practice the numerals. There is no alternations. That's it. Chapter 9 is completed. Now come to the last chapter, that is the gravitation. Chapter 10, the last chapter for today's video, that is gravitation. Gravitation, you know that the entire gravity, the entire movement of in the solar system, all the planets are moving around the sun, and in this way, galaxy made. So all such is spherical matters. Okay, all such we can say the celestial bodies, those which are moving in the space. All such things are totally connected with the gravitational force or gravitational power that we used to say. And first time it was discovered by Sir Isaac Newton, right? So based on his matter, based on his law, all such things are going on, and we are understanding. So that's why the law of gravitation, it means the Newton's law of gravitation, is going to be very important here. You must have to practice it, as well as the mathematical calculations. Okay, the value of G, it means the gravitational power, the gravitational effect. You have to find it out from here, as well as how to mass, volume. Okay, all such matters of any substance. just or the buoyancy, okay, and the relative density of any substance are related to the gravitation. We must have to read from here, as well as that as it is connected to the physics, so many of the numerals are there, those which are totally based on the formula, those which are included in this chapter. Okay, so first of all, you have to memorize the law, as well as the mathematical combinations, mathematical formulas. You have to memorize all the calculations. You have to memorize in a proper way. Not only memorize, but also the concept you have to take in a proper way, so that alone you can do it. You can not only by memorizing alone, you can understand it in a clear way, and you can write it well, because all such matters are going to be very important for your exam. So I cannot say that this part of this chapter, please leave it, because it will not come. I can never say. Each topic in a chapter is very very easy, because all are included with the numericals. Okay, whether theory will not come, but maths will come, and this maths formula maybe it's connected with that very topic. So that's why the entire topic you have to read, you have to understand in a better way, then you have to perform in a better way. Okay, so that's it. There is no other alternations that I have already said. So in such manner, today's video is completed, and if it is helpful to you, please let me know in the comment section. Comment section is already there, and those who have not, the students, those who have not subscribed this channel, so this channel is going to be very very important to you, because daily basis I will send you different type of videos, sometimes based on few syllabus based, sometimes with special topic based. I will send you the videos. Okay, so those who have not subscribed, please do subscribe this and share it to your friend circles. That's it. That will be enough for you and me too. Okay, so stay well and read well. Bye bye for today.